Hi guys! Welcome back to StarrSoap's channel. How are you today? I'm doing good. Today I'm going to remake my citrus soap bars. That's right, I love these. I make them with rock salt from Himalaya, and I also make them from sea salt from New Zealand. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up my oils with my coconut milk. Make sure they're well emulsified and then add the lye water. I've got everything at room temperature and I'm using a mixture of olive oil, coconut oil, canola oil, soybean oil and castor oil. And my lye water, which I've dissolved a little bit of mulberry silk into. And I'll bring it all to a medium trace. Not quite thick, but thick enough to withhold the salt so it won't just sink to the bottom. I want it to incorporate through the entire soap. And I'm using a blend of some different essential oils and fragrance oils that are all citrusy. So I've got Love Spell fragrance oil, and I've got some sweet orange essential oil, some lemongrass essential oil, and finally it's called the L'Occitane Verbena fragrance oil, which is a really lemony fragrance oil. And I went on the Kiwi Soap Makers group on Facebook and I asked them what they thought was the best fragrance oil for super citrusy soap, and they all recommended L'Occitane Verbena. They all said it was a really super lemony scent and it sticks well and lasts well in cold processed soap, which is kind of hard. It's hard to find a scent they all stick well because citrus seems to be more of a top note and it fades unless you use something to anchor it. So I'm blending these together and I'm hoping for a really yummy citrusy soap at the end of it, and it'll be gorgeous with these salt crystals in it. They'll make for a really hard bar of soap, which is why I'm not putting it into a loaf mold and then attempting to cut it, because that can be a nightmare. Ask me how I know. Instead I'm going to pour it into individual cavity mold here that I've got, a really awesome square one. Each bar that it produces weighs roughly 200 grams, and with the salt in there it's even more dense. I'm just going to give it a really good mix, like I said, because I don't want all the salt to sink to the bottom, and then I can mix it in with the spatula and go ahead and pour it into the mold. Love this mold. It is a great mold for this type of soap, or if you're doing like 100% coconut oil soap or a whipped soap, any kind of soap where it's going to get really hard, and unless you want to sit there and babysit it and get it out of the mold at just the right time, things might not work out. So I'm just going to go ahead now and start adding in my pink Himalayan salt and my New Zealand sea salt. They're both really coarsely ground, so it'll give a really nice exfoliant in the soap, as well as detoxifying, and also it creates a super hard bar that will last for a really long time. That's one of the things I absolutely love about it. Now I'm trying to be a bit creative with this batch. I want it to be pretty because I'm obviously not using bright colours and I'm not going to be using crazy toppers. So I decided, sort of at a last second whim decision, to toss some of the salt into the mould. And at first it seemed like a fantastic idea, but I don't recommend this. What I found is that the soap didn't sink all the way to the bottom, and therefore the salt that I'm sprinkling into the mold now never kind of got stuck properly in the soap, and then when I unmolded I had lots of bits of salt falling everywhere and falling off the bars. So what I would recommend instead is just to pour the soap into the clean mold and then put a sprinkling of your Himalayan salt and your whatever salt you're using on the very top of every bar. It looks really pretty that way, and you'll see that's what I actually did as well with this batch. So I've learned that in the future I will leave the salt out of the bottom, or if I'm gonna put it in the bottom, just a very small amount. I've put too much, I think, is the other part of the problem, but I didn't need it because, as you can see here, the salt is well and truly incorporated all through the soap, and that's plenty. It increases the volume and it increases the weight of the soap. you took your life in your own hands. These years I would rewind, but I'm leaving it all behind. Leaving it all behind. Call yourself a lover true. It's in what you do. And whenever things get heavy or hard, I'm with you. And I'll never understand what made you take your life in your own hands. These years I would rewind, but I'm leaving it all behind, all behind. I'm leaving it all behind. Call yourself my soulmate. We met by fate, and I know you look down on me, and I need you to be, and I need you for me, but I don't understand why you took your life in your own hands. These years I would rewind, but I'm leaving it all behind. I'm leaving it all behind. Leaving it all behind. So here you can see I'm taking some of the salt here and sprinkling it on the top of all of the soaps that I have finished getting into the mould. And I think this is the way to go. You still get a really pretty decorative finish, and then you're going to be more inclined to be able to pop the whole soap out once it's completely set. What happened is when I went to unmold these, I lost corners, and like I say, bits of salt and bits of soap sort of broke off and chunked off, and it was quite sad. I still have beautiful bars of soap out of the batch, and it's no loss, but just, yeah, learn from my mistakes again, guys, and go ahead and leave it until you're going to sprinkle it right on the top. I definitely think that's the best way to go. And whenever the world gets hard for you, I'm your shining star. Try to lift your head up high and carry on. Others may ask you why, but they'll be wrong. You can live on. I'll never understand why you took your life in your own hands. These years I would rewind, but I'm leaving it all behind. Leaving it all behind. here we have the final bars of soap. I'm sorry that I didn't film the unmoulding. It was just something that I was doing while I was tutoing away out there and the camera wasn't on, and I just went ahead and did it. But as you can see here, the bottom of the soap has like heaps of salt and it's like trying to fall off. It's not properly stuck in there, but that little sprinkling of salt on the top of every bar looks gorgeous and would have been plenty all on its own. I really love how these came out. They smell gorgeous. They don't smell purely of lemon. There's definitely sort of a whole bunch of citrus notes in there, so I'm just calling them citrus soap bars. And this week I would like to shine my soapy spotlight on Tracy Vickery Kerr and her beautiful lavender soaps that she shared in our group StarrSoapy Family over on Facebook. So come on, hit us up and join. I want to see your creations. And if you like this video, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and become a member of our StarrSoapy family. Don't forget to feel the soapy love. Bye!